Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m. New coach, new quarterback, and now a new owner. Walmart heir Rob Walton wins the bid for the Broncos.
After years of uncertainty, this is welcome news for Broncos country, but it's not a done deal yet. We're live from Empower Field with what needs to happen first.
Gun control comes into focus for Front Range cities.
Before the King Soopers shooting, I did not realize just how devastating gun violence would be for a community as a whole.
We're going 360 in-depth on the new rules just passed for 4 Colorado towns.
It's going to be an emotional day on Capitol Hill as survivors of the Uvalde school shooting testify, the youngest just 11 years old, how she hopes her experience will push lawmakers to compromise on national reform.
If you're on social media, experts say you should expect everything on there is being shared with others, and more than just advertisers are getting your info.
And Stanley Cup ticket prices are out of reach for most of us, but you'll still be able to get in on the fun. The special events in the works.
Yeah, so much sports news today coming to Denver. It's getting exciting
here.
It is.
Yes. It is exciting.
Good morning. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Nicole Brady.
And I'm Brian Sanders. And welcome back to summer as temperatures continue to pick up a little more across the metro. Lisa is here with a bright, sunny forecast.
It's beautiful right now. Yeah, and not as bumpy this afternoon as what we saw yesterday with that severe weather. A really pretty shot here from Fort Morgan and up across northeastern Colorado. That was one of the spots yesterday, in fact, to the northeast and southeast, where we saw some actual landspouts and had some reported tornadoes out east. No reports of any damage, though. Today, take a look at our risk of severe weather. We're going to see a few storms here across parts of southeastern Colorado. A couple of general thunderstorms, potentially isolated activity with some thunder, lightning, a little bit of rain, but that risk of severe weather will go up again tomorrow. Today's going to be calmer, though, for us, and pretty mild. Mid-70s expected, low to mid-70s by early afternoon. We'll hit highs right around 80 degrees this afternoon. Denver, Fort Collins, Greeley, all right around 80, and cooler to the southeast as well. Coming up, we'll take a look at tomorrow's risk of severe weather and the timing of some of those storms as we get a little closer to the weekend.
I know you like so much using that alternate route, that southbound side of I-25 to I-70 to stay off to 2. You loved it. I know she did. Well, we're going to use it again today because right now we have this truck that's broken down on the eastbound side of 270 right over the South Platte. Take a look, Air Tracker 7's there. And we also had a little crash in there. That one's clear, but you can see that we have this truck that's stopped there in that left lane. This is actually a undercover, well, I guess an unmarked police car right here, also protecting it in that left lane. So just the right lane's open, right over the Platte. So take a look at the drive times right now. Doubled, if not triple, the commute times on that eastbound side, all the way back to I-25. So I-25, I-70, just like yesterday, that's the easiest way to get around this problem on 270.
As the sun rises over Empower Field, it is officially a new era for Broncos country. We got the new quarterback, the new head coach, and now the new owner.
The Broncos announced it late last night in a tweet. Walmart heir Rob Walton leads the group with the winning offer. Denver 7 sources report it's a U.S. sports franchise record of $4.6 billion. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live from Empower Field this morning, which has an extra glow about it with this deal before it's finalized.
Looks kind of nice, doesn't it? The Denver Broncos, they have got their coach, they've got that star quarterback, and now they have that brand new owner as well. It's a pretty big change for the Denver Broncos. The team hasn't had new ownership since 1984. We are talking 38 years. That's when Pat Bowlen actually bought the team all those years ago. Now, the team currently under the care of the Broncos Trust, it entered into this agreement to sell to the Walton Penner Group. It's been several weeks since we've heard Rob Walton was a front runner and really serious about actually buying the team here. His group won the second round of bidding. That happened on Monday afternoon. The price tag, that's one of the big questions. As you can imagine, it's not a small one. A Denver 7 source, like you mentioned it, they said that the team sold for more than $4.6 billion. This means Walton is the richest owner in NFL history. The Broncos, of course, they posted a statement on behalf of Walton regarding the sale. That was on Twitter last night. It said, in part, quote, "We look forward to earning the confidence and support of the NFL as we take the next steps in this process. When the necessary approval procedures are met, our family is excited to share more with Broncos fans, the organization, and the community as well." Now, the Walter Penner Group, it also has a brand new member. Her name is Melody Hobson. She is a prominent black businesswoman who owns an investment firm. We know that the NFL was really passionate about getting some diversity in the Broncos ownership, and now they have some of that moving forward. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Yeah, it just adds to the excitement for the upcoming season. Thank you, Veronica, as we take a closer look at how this $4.6 billion deal stacks up to other sports team sales. The previous record was $3.3 billion for the Brooklyn Nets. That deal also involved some real estate, though. In third was the Carolina Panthers, bought for nearly $2.3 billion in 2018. So this would by far be a record for a U.S. sports franchise. What does it mean for the team and maybe for the stadium? We will find out right now on the denverchannel.com. You can read our Broncos insider Troy Rank's full analysis of the Broncos sale. Well, from Colorado to our nation's capital right now, gun violence is a top priority for lawmakers.
This morning, we're continuing our 360 in-depth coverage of guns in America. Local leaders in several metro communities move forward with new gun rules overnight. Meanwhile, corporations in America are staying quiet in response to the latest tragedies. And lawmakers on Capitol Hill will hear testimony today from survivors of the Uvalde school shooting as senators work to reach some kind of compromise.
So we have team coverage again this morning, starting with Denver 7's Christian Lopez, because Boulder City Council passed several measures on gun control yesterday, more than a year now after the King Super shooting.
City Council unanimously passed these ordinances last night, and here are some of the measures. The most notable one is a ban on both the sale and possession of assault weapons. They also raised the age to buy a gun to 21. They banned ghost guns, and they established a 10-day waiting period to buy a gun after waiting for a background check to be complete. And before the vote, city leaders heard hours and hours of public comment, many people sharing how much of an impact the King Super's shooting had on them.
Before the King Super shooting, I did not realize just how devastating gun violence would be for a community as a whole.
As an educator and parent, I want to ensure that we are doing all we can to prevent all gun violence. Prohibiting firearms in sensitive places fosters safer spaces and also recognizes the continued trauma that survivors of gun violence deal with when repeatedly exposed to the open carry of firearms.
But not everyone was in favor of that decision. Some people who were against it said that this would divide the community and make Boulder less safe.
It will be a big mistake to start restricting legal citizens' rights to defend themselves. Far more lives are saved each year by guns than taken by guns. Everything you guys are voting on tonight is just virtue signaling. In case you guys forgot, criminals don't obey laws.
Congressman Joe Neguse also sent in a video where he shared his support for the passage of these proposals. Live this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Thank you, Christian. 3 other communities also in Boulder County are cracking down on guns. In Superior, the Board of Trustees passed new regulations limiting who can possess a firearm. Assault weapons can no longer be bought, sold, or transferred in Superior, and anyone who already owns an assault weapon has until the end of the year to pass a background check. In Louisville first here, 6-gun ordinance passed a second reading. Those measures include a ban on assault weapons, raising the gun purchasing age to 21, and outlawing open and concealed carry in sensitive places, including hospitals, schools, and churches. And in Lafayette, city councilors passed a first reading for ordinances prohibiting open carry in public places and on city property, and requiring gun dealers to post signs warning of the dangers of guns. These ordinances will need to pass a second reading.
Recent mass shootings from Buffalo, New York to Uvalde, Texas have prompted more people to speak out about gun violence, but not many big-time CEOs. Several leaders of America's top companies have stayed silent about the recent tragedies and the push for gun safety. ABC News contacted the top 20 companies on the Fortune 500 list for comment on the recent mass shootings and their stance on gun control. Almost none of the companies responded, though, except for Microsoft and Walgreens Boots Alliance, and those companies ended up declining to comment. Experts say many are keeping quiet over fears of backlash.
Well, today, survivors of the Uvalde, Texas school shooting will testify before a House committee on gun violence.
Denver 7's Jessica Crawford joins us in our studio this morning because one of the youngest to testify is 11 years old. She was in the classroom at the time, and I can't imagine what she's been through.
She's been through so much, and we're going to be hearing from her. And she faked her own death just to stay alive during the Uvalde shooting, one of many kids who did that. This hearing comes as lawmakers are rushing to finalize a bipartisan agreement on gun reform. 9 witnesses are going to testify before the House Oversight and Reform Committee today at about the mass shootings in Uvalde and in Buffalo. Victims' parents, a pediatrician, gun safety advocates, also the president of a teachers union are going to be there. The Buffalo Police Commissioner also expected to participate. A package of gun control legislation is expected to pass the House this week. It's likely going to stall in the Senate, though. Actor Matthew McConaughey spoke at the White House Tuesday, urging more action on gun control.
We need responsible gun ownership. Responsible gun ownership. We need background checks. We need to raise the minimum age to purchase an AR-15 rifle to 21.
A group of bipartisan senators are aiming to have a proposal on gun reform ready by the end of the week.
Thank you, Jessica. ABC News will have that special report of the House Committee hearing on gun violence, which you can watch right here on Denver 7 starting at 8 a.m. You might be sharing more than you want to on social media, the information being collected from you and who it's being sold to.
And it's nearly peak moving season, but be careful while packing. The 3 best ways you can protect yourself against moving scams.